is this. This is a group of people who were in power and could not manage this situation. You recall, when Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo came to office and was being sworn in his statement, he had Galamsey as a major issue, which he promised to deal with. You recall? What it means is that anybody that creates an impression as if Galamsey was a creation of Nana Akufo-Addo in the last 8 years is just trying to do politics. I'm bringing all of this in to simply say that this is a social canker. You don't fight social canker scapegoating. If you scapegoat in the fight against social canker, you don't get results. Because what happens is that you allow the actual perpetrators to hide. Because you're not even pointing at them. You're not talking about them. You're not addressing them. You rather identify one or two people and you keep hammering as if today Abu Jinapo is removed from the lands ministry, there will be no Galamsey. This is a canker where the former environment minister, Honorable Ayariga, under the NDC, actually said on record, and it's reported on your portal, that he thinks we should give up on the fight against Galamsey. In fact, he recommended that we should legalize illegal mining. I mean, you see the contradiction. Legalize illegal mining. Where he said that it has become so difficult fighting this canker under the Atena because chiefs are involved, according to him, chiefs are involved, religious leaders are involved, opinion leaders, assembly members, and everybody, is involved. And so if you just get up and say, oh, there's Galamsey, fire the lands minister. Before the lands minister, was there Galamsey? Was there Galamsey before this lands minister? And so if you fire the lands minister tomorrow, does it end Galamsey? So you feel that calls to relieve him of duty is not important? No, the point is that before I say that, let's relieve you of your role as a host on this program, you might have been culpable of something. I might have seen that you are either incompetent in fixing it, or you are doing what you are doing, or you haven't done what it is that you are supposed to do. But so I haven't heard anybody say any such thing about the lands minister. And my problem is that you don't find social canker by scapegoating and politicizing. If you try to fight social canker by scapegoating and politicizing, you leave the real culprits. They'll be doing their thing whilst you fight amongst yourselves. I am one person that has refrained from allowing myself to be drawn into this Galamsey conversation on partisan lines. Whose purpose does it serve? Who wins in this? This Galamsey menace, right from 2011, that's when it reared its head, under the former president as vice president and former President Mills. Before, whilst Wallace was in office, we had Galamsey. Galamsey is an 80s, 60s, 70s ancient pre-colonial activity. But they were not mining in river bodies. The actual river body Galamsey that we are seeing today reared its head in 2010, 2011. For the entire period that these people that are advocating for somebody to be scapegoated were in power, they couldn't fight it. They gave up. They lifted their hands in despair. We are people who have come to inherit this canker from them. And that should be put on record. And so it is we rather who are trying to fight a canker introduced by them. And so what should be done right now is to say that what is government's effort so far in the fight against this social canker? Why hasn't it worked? Government, we think that you should tweak this side, you should tweak this side, you should tweak this side. But I don't know why Galamsey fight is becoming very difficult. All of a sudden, we've allowed some of these people who claim to be neutrals to put this Galamsey conversation into the partisan political contest. So what happens is that everybody in Ghana today thinks that Galamsey is there because MPP officials are doing Galamsey. Was it then NDC officials who were doing Galamsey in 2010, 2011, 2012, 2014, when the minister gave out, when cocoa farms were being cut down? Didn't the former president, please hold on, didn't the former president set up a task force to deal with Galamsey? Why didn't it work? So you're saying that we should vote against it and go for who? The one who introduced it. And that is my worry. You have somebody... So you don't want us to politicize issues? No. Fair point. You have somebody digging under his bed. We're dealing with an emergency here, because the Ghana Water Company has served notice that Ghana, we may be forced to import water in the nearest future because of the dire impact of illegal mining. Now, we are quite interested in this administration because we know that at the start of this administration, the president assured us that he would deal with this. This is the key reason why Operation Vanguard was created.
And so at this point where our water bodies are polluted and people are struggling to even find potable water, even though they live very close to the river bodies, the concern is about action.
That is the point.
Exactly.
So the evidence
we want
is that,
to see
so the evidence
some
is
sort
that,
of action.
What is the action? What action is left
what
other
action
than
is the
what
NPP
action
going
is
to
left
do at
other
this
than
point?
the government sending military men and police to go and burn excavators and to get these people out of our river bodies? What action is left other than the government setting up community mining schemes and draw these young people to do safe mining? What action is left beyond the government providing the river body guards to help patrol these places? And this is a social canker. What it means is that it is a crime. And people would always find ways and means to commit a crime. That is why even though we have police, we still have people committing robbery this morning and this afternoon. But there is police. The fact that government and state have police and all security agencies doesn't mean that people have stopped committing a crime. But you see, when you are fighting a social canker, it's a different ballgame. When you have somebody digging under his bed, his own bed, so he can mine, you can see the psyche of these people and how much they want to get involved in this. That is why it is important for us to call out those who are making it difficult for us to fight the social canker. Why haven't you or anybody on the multimedia platform ever played this NDC video?
So why don't you call out the names?
No, but for example, the video is out there. The man who is spearheading the NDC agenda when it comes to mining, Dr. Tony Oben, and the NDC national officers are on video, not once, not twice, not just 3 locations, but multiple locations, videos of which are on social media. And think about this. Whilst government is beating people, arresting people, burning excavators, the other important aspect of this fight against galamsey is the social reorientation, where people would need to have a reorientation of their minds to understand the danger that this galamsey thing poses to us as our survivor. Then you have the biggest opposition party who is fighting to come to power in the galamsey side, standing with them and telling them that, you know what, galamsey preceded politics. Vote against these people and vote for us. When we come to office, do you see this man? His name is Tony Oben. He is the one who is going to be made the CEO of Minerals Commission. The very day NDC wins power, we are going to let all of you come and mine. This is the real threat. This is the real emergency. There is not a single enabler that is bigger than this issue. Because you see, what is happening is that you go and embolden the guys. So government cannot be in everybody's home at the same time. So you send Operation Vanguard, they go and burn excavators and leave. And these people go and they are emboldened. Today, when you go to the mining areas, they will tell you that, you know what, let me go and mine. I'll make money. If they arrest me within 3 months, NDC they will come and remove me.
And we'll hold you accountable with some of these names and we'll reach out to some of them.
But the video is there.
Since we're naming and shaming.
The video is there.
Since we're naming and
Should I give it to you?
Miracles.
Should I give it to your production to play it now?
Since we're naming and shaming, please forward it to my producer and he'll put it on. Since we're naming and shaming, let's talk about allegations that Akonta Mining, owned by Chairman Muntimin, is also actively involved in illegal mining. And people are hoping to see some sort of communication from the party to dispel some of these rumors. Is that the case? Why are you quiet when your own is involved?
I don't, because anytime somebody is involved in the crime, I'll find out whether the person has actually committed the crime or not. Like I'm giving you the video. When I heard that the NDC people were in the pit encouraging galamsey, I didn't believe it. I didn't just come out to speak. I waited for the evidence. Akonta Mining is a licensed small-scale mining. Since when did small-scale mining become illegal? So the fact that somebody owns a mining concession doesn't make it illegal. The galamsey illegal mining we are talking about are individuals and businesses who are mining in our river bodies and our forest reserves without the appropriate licenses. Because what the licensing does is that once you have it, you are regulated to mine in safe and appropriate way. That does not affect our environment. And so unless you have contrary evidence to prove that Akonta Mining is not, because Akonta Mining, they didn't get their license at the MPP. They got their license in 2013 under the NDC government. And they are doing their small-scale mining. So if you find anybody involved in illegal mining, in spite of the political colors, and the person is involved in illegal mining, the law should deal with the person.
There are calls for a state of emergency to be declared.
For what?
Do you feel it's necessary?
No, I'm just asking for what?
You feel
Do you
it's
remember
not necessary?
in 2018 or 2019, there was a ban on small-scale mining?
Yeah.
Did they end galamsey? I keep telling you, we've allowed these guys to mislead all of us on a path that will never get galamsey solved. Galamsey is a social canker. These people live in this area. This is all they know their entire lives. Now, think about it. And that is where I'm coming into Dr. Mahmoud Bamia's proposal for dealing with Galamsey. The person has grown up in this area from the age of 6. He sees all these things happening. He doesn't know where the gold actually is, but he knows that the land he lives on has gold. And so he wakes up in the morning, he starts scavenging and just hope that he finds something. And because it's very difficult to scavenge on the rocks and on earth, he goes to the river bodies where it is easy. Over there, as he digs, he's washing and he gets what he wants. Dr. Mahmoud Bamia is saying that if we don't rechannel the energies of these young people into safe and appropriate mining, this fight we are talking about is a dead fight. And I agree with him. I absolutely agree with you. So he says he is going to provide the geo data that shows where these minerals can be found. Now, if you're a Ghanaian and you identify a concession, of course, based on the geo data that government has provided you, and you are interested in mining, currently, the Ghanaian will travel to the US or to China and go and look for a partner because we don't have the money to be able to mine safely. He's going to set up the Minerals Development Bank that will provide the financial muscle needed for the Ghanaian concessionaire to mine so that these concessions will be wholly Ghanaian owned. Then all these young people who are in these rivers will now have a local man that has a concession that has been given the muscle by government to be able to mine, the financial muscle by government to be able to mine safely. And then they will all work for this person to do safe and appropriate mining. Do you know how many small-scale mining firms are in Ghana doing safe and appropriate mining? Are you aware that about 40% of our gold that we have, gold production every year, is from small-scale mining? And let me shock you. These small-scale miners are not doing illegal mining. They are not doing Galamsey. We should stop putting all of these things together. Galamsey, as we are defining it today, and we are discussing today, are the people, one, who don't have the licenses to mine, and two, who are mining in our river bodies, in our forest reserves, where they are not supposed to mine. So if you have been able to mobilize resources, you have a concession in Seshi somewhere, you have all the regulations, you have employed, there is a small-scale mining firm employing close to about 5,000 young people in the western region. You are saying that we should ban them for what's wrong? What crime has he committed? Because there is armed robbery, everybody should be left at home, everybody should be kept at home. Is that a sensible way to solve a social canker? That there is a lot of armed robbery, or there's a lot of phone snatching around Circle. So government should ban everybody coming to Circle. That is an emotional way of trying to solve a problem. And that is why I keep telling you that these people who come on TV and radio and talk about ban, they are doing politics. Because you see, the NDC are the ones leading all these things with all their surrogates. Then when they come on radio and say government is not fighting it, do this, then they'll go to the pit. And I've sent the video to Eko, and I'm begging Eko to play this video, to hear these NDC operatives telling these Galamseyers that forget MPP. You say they are sacking you, and they are burning your excavators. And then let me tell you one thing. If you have the opponents going into the pits to go and say these things, don't you realize that they have disarmed government effort in fighting this canker? Because anytime government goes in and leaves, the people will come back because they have a backing. Don't forget, the flag bearer of the opposition party, these people who are in the pit encouraging the Galamseyers, has already told the Galamseyers that when I become president, I will free all of you who have committed a crime and have been imprisoned. Why do we think we don't have to talk about this? All of you, producers, media people, why are you not talking about this? Why are you making it look like the solution?
I'm just getting information right now from my producer that video you just shared was as far back as 2020. Does that change your position? No,
that is why it should be played. That should tell you why we are still here, in spite of all the things you mentioned. That is why it should be played, and I want it played. They shouldn't cover it up. Let the viewers see it. That the reason why Operation Vanguard will fail, the reason why Operation Halt will fail, the reason why we've burnt a lot of excavators, beat people, this government has jailed, prosecuted and jailed the most.
And we'll bring you that video for our viewers watching. Very eager on social media to watch it.
Why on social media?
We'll bring it. We'll bring it shortly. We'll play it. So I'm just getting information from my producer that will play you that video shortly. But let's come back to the substantive issue.
It tells you why the fight will delay. Because these people are emboldened and are enabled by, you know how strong an opposition party is.
But you're just making the point right now that to a large extent, the people we're hearing raise noise about the impact of illegal mining are politically motivated. But how about labor unions, TUC, demanding that government act, else they'll withdraw their services nationwide? How about the Christian Council?
See, you're not hearing them. You know why? It is because we've allowed the politics to cover them. These are genuine voices. The labor, these are people who are genuinely raising concerns. But when they raise the concerns, and we allow all these surrogates to come in, we don't ever get to the crux of the matter. Who has ever thought that or ever brought the discussion to the fore that galamsey should be treated as a social canker? I can give you 1,000 reasons why galamsey is like any form of addiction that you can think of. And the next question is, how do we fight addiction? When you go and arrest a cocaine addicted victim, does it necessarily get him to stop? If you leave him the next day, don't you think he will go there? But when you arrest him, you take him for rehabilitation, so that by the time you bring him back, he is fully rehabilitated. But here we are not discussing it. We are making it look like today, if you remove Nana Akufo-Addo, galamsey ends. Meanwhile, before Nana Akufo-Addo, that was when galamsey started. And who are you removing Nana Akufo-Addo for? The same people who started galamsey. The people who are in the pit and enabling the galamseyers. And so I am bringing this up and say that enough, media. Enough of bringing all these surrogates to come and discuss galamsey. Let's really elevate this galamsey conversation.
And that's what we've been doing here.
That's what you're doing. When you call Oliver,
spoke to Oliver because they are about to hit the street.
Oliver is always looking for one reason to hit the street.
Demonstration, and that is something that's happening.
Oliver is always looking for one. Ask him. He's always looking for one reason or the other to hit the street. So wait, after he hit the street tomorrow, ends galamsey. Why are you not going to the house of the former president? Why are you not going to the house of Tony Obey? He's the one telling the galamseyers to do galamsey. Are they the ones they are directing the demonstration to? Or the demonstration is directed towards Akufo-Addo? Think about it. Think about it. We need to stop this. If we do this, we are all enablers. That this is a social canker that requires a strategy to deal with.
What's the strategy? What's the strategy?
Mention one government.
I'm interested in the strategy.
I'll come to that. Mention one government that has put in measures and effort to fight galamsey than Akufo-Addo. Tell me one thing you can remember of the former president in his fight against galamsey. Akufo-Addo has gone into the galamsey areas with a lot of interventions. There is what we call the National Alternative Livelihood Program, being run by the Lands Commission. As we speak, all the National Alternative Livelihood Program does is that it's producing a lot of cash crops, seedlings, and giving it to these mining communities for free and say that stop destroying your land. You want something to do. Here, take it. Plant on your land, so that it becomes a source of funding for you. That's a medium to long-term way of solving this problem. There is a lot of social orientation going on, trying to educate these people on the ground as to the dangers of galamsey. That is another thing that the government is doing. Government introduced community mining schemes, where community mining schemes have been set up in mining areas and are still ongoing. And what it does is that all of you in this community stop going to the river. These are machines and equipment that allow you to mine appropriately. The government is giving to you. Take it. Mine safely, get your minerals, and make some money. Government has done that. Government has introduced river guards. Government has done that. So these are specific things. So the next thing will be, why? Why is it that upon all these interventions government has put in place, we still have this canker coming up? Dear government, shall we relook at what you have done? And can we also propose things that we believe can be done? But if you begin to throw things in, 80 days to elections, 2020, when we asked them to go and fight galamsey, when we were forcing the hands of the government like we are doing today, to go to galamsey areas and go and beat people up and seize the excavators, then we were in the pits telling the people to mine and vote for us. This government, because of its quest to fight galamsey, lost elections in almost all of these galamsey areas. And anybody believes that they can point fingers at the government, a government that puts its electoral fortunes on the line, and there is evidence that the people voted against them simply because of that effort. You are going to call the government names, and you said that government should be voted against, and be voted for who? The one who is an enabler of galamsey, the one who introduced galamsey, the one whose record is there on your portal, indicating clearly that he has failed in the fight against galamsey, and he has raised his hands. Why are you guys doing this? Why? And nobody wants to talk about it. And then if you talk about it, me, I come from the mountains, so nobody can accuse me of galamsey. I've never seen raw gold by myself, so I can speak about it. But make a mistake, come from the central region or come from the western region and talk about galamsey. The next day they will brand you as a galamseyer. That's their way of weaving around this thing. And how do we ever get to solve this problem if we continue like this?
So what do you propose we do now?
Dr. Mahmoud,
concrete steps.
I have taken you through that. Dr. Mahmoud Bamia is saying that, listen, upon a careful review of all the things we have done, it is clear that it is a source of economic survival for a lot of these people in the mining areas. So let's tap into that. First of all, you want to mine, but you don't have the money. I think I've gone over it, but I'll try again. You want to mine, but you don't have the money. We are going to provide you with the financial muscle through the setup of the Mineral Development Bank. Already, government has a strategy of backing our city with gold. So don't worry, when you mine, we'll buy. But we'll give you the money to mine. The concessions, don't worry. Go and talk to the chiefs and the owners of the land. We are bringing Minerals Commission to your district level. The licensing regime is going to be simplified. So you don't have to be coming to Accra and plenty grammar to discourage you. At the district level, with your chiefs, the district assembly, Minerals Commission, you'll get your licensing at the district level. Government gives you money. Government helps you with the tools and equipment that you need. Already, government has given you the data that shows where the minerals are. So you don't have to be scavenging and destroying the nature in order to find it. Mine safely and appropriately. When you finish, government will buy in cedis. When we get it, we use it to build our reserves, to back our currency, to strengthen it. This is Dr. Mahmoud Bamia's way of telling the people that we'll still help you to mine, but not in the river bodies. In this case, when the person gets up in the morning, he's not wondering what to do with his life. He knows that I'm going to mine in this area. I'm going to work in this organization to get this same mineral. Let me leave my water to be safe for all of us. But at the moment, we haven't, in all our efforts, strategically handled this matter as a social canker the way we should. Initially, we thought burning the excavators will help, it didn't help. We thought beating these people will help, it didn't help. We've used all manner of strategies, it hasn't helped. This is what Dr. Mahmoud Bamia is proposing.
There are calls for the immediate ban of all forms of mining. And these calls are stemming from concerns that it's very difficult to separate the wheat from the chaff at this time when we have just 79 days to the general election. And we want to see action now.
When I tell you that this thing is political motivated, you don't understand it. Let me tell you why. Why are they calling it for that now? Are you aware that in 2018 there was a 1.5-year ban on small-scale mining? Did they end galamsey? Did they end galamsey? So a strategy you have tried before. Why do you try the same strategy? It didn't work. Why do you try the same strategy? Why don't you propose something new? They talk as if ban against galamsey proposal is a new thing. It's been done before. It was done in 2018. If it solved galamsey, why are we discussing galamsey again? So why is anybody proposing a strategy that never worked in the past that we should do it again? And expect me to follow you hook, line, sinker? No, I will not be hoodwinked. The ban against galamsey, ban against small-scale mining, I don't think is the way to go because, one, we have tried it before and it didn't solve the problem. Number two, there are people who are legitimately doing small-scale mining. It has nothing to do with galamsey. It has nothing to do... That we should go and ban Newmont and ban Goldfields and Anglo-Gold Ashanti and all of that. But where Anglo-Gold Ashanti and Newmont and Co are mining, what has it got to do with all the discussions we are having? So again, I tell you that it is politically motivated. Indeed, our water bodies are being affected. Indeed, galamsey is destroying the water bodies. But the proposals they are making, they are not making it in the interest of the water bodies. They are making it in the interest of their political affiliations. Let's push them like we did to them in 2020. Ban small scale. Do you know what happens when you ban small scale mining? There are tens of thousands of people who are going to lose their jobs. And I'm telling you that. There is one small scale mining, just one, that is employing close to about 5,000. So multiply by the number of small scale mining companies who are genuinely operating. So government should go and ban small scale mining. If my government bans small scale mining, I'll demonstrate against them. You know why? You know why? Because you are going to cause tens of thousands of people to lose their jobs. Why would you do that? So there are armed robbers in town. Because there are armed robbers in town, and there are armed robbers who are snatching phones in Circle, let's ban anybody from coming to Circle. Is that a sensible solution to anything? Let's move away from illegal mining and let's talk about the NDC's calls for an independent forensic audit of the voters' register. We'll come also to the campaign. Play my video. We will play your video. Once I have made the point. It must be back. Once I get an alert from my producer, that video will come on your screen shortly. But let's talk about the NDC's demonstration that happened. Enough is enough. Massive turnout for that. They are also demanding an independent forensic audit of the voters' register. They feel it is filled with anomalies. What's your thoughts about it? I don't speak for the Electoral Commission. I have always said that the MPP, we've had our own issues with the Electoral Commission. And so for me, when I see the NDC do these things with the Electoral Commission, all I do is to fold my hands And I laugh. And I say, we told you. They are even lucky. They had their demonstration. Nobody was beaten with horsewhips. We were beaten with horsewhips. They poured hot water on us. In fact, somebody's eyes were plugged and the guy died. When we were calling for reforms during the NDC time at the Electoral Commission, what did these same people tell us? The former president, who is saying that his followers should invade the EC. You know what he told us? He said that we should allow the EC to do its work, and that the EC has enough systems to be able to look at all the things that needs to be done about elections. He says that anybody who doesn't believe in the EC is a hypocrite, and that he believes the EC is a strong institution. The chairman of the NDC said that the exhibition is enough to deal with all manner of issues that anybody will have with the register. So the question is, what has changed? So, but this time you're silent this time. So the concern Why should I join you too? So you don't have any challenge with the EC? We take our challenges to the EC. And I'll give you an example. And I'm telling you, see, the NDC, they are a very lazy political party. Okay. Because see, the issues they are raising, these are issues that we have identified. And the EC itself anticipates it. So there is exhibition. You know what the exhibition is supposed to do? There are average 500 people in every register in the polling station, over 38,622 polling stations. We have 5 executives in each of these 38,622 polling stations. So exhibition, we simply print the ballot, the register, give it to our people. Where I vote in my hometown in Latte, I know everybody in the album. You know why? Because that is my area. And I have lived there. So in the houses, I know this person, I know this person's daughter. So when you pick it, and you realize that there is this name and this face that is not supposed to be there, that is what exhibition is meant to do. Go to the Electoral Commission. We have identified this anomaly. Otherwise, why do you think we do exhibition? We have done that. And we have actually provided our concerns. Who says you can have a register without issues? Every register has issues. That's why we do exhibition. And I hear them talk about dead people, and between today and tomorrow, somebody will die. So definitely there will be somebody in the register that is not supposed to be there because he's dead. So use your electoral, but of course I don't blame them. They don't have a very strong political party as we speak on the ground. But we have identified our issues, we've identified our difficulties, and we've shared it with the Electoral Commission. And we make sure that we follow up to make sure that they deal with it. That is easier. You think KPMG can come and audit close to about over 15 million people? KPMG, how is KPMG going to know that me miracles? I'm not supposed to vote at Latte. How are they going to know that? How are they really going to know that? So you feel an independent audit is needless? I am telling you that where we have gotten to with our electoral system, with biometric system and all of that, there is no better or perfect independent audit than the political party. Is there any independent audit than MPP themselves? Identifying in the album that is, this person is not supposed to, this person. Is there anything that beats that? The NDC, they say they have observed a lot of anomalies, and they are concerned because they lack trust in the EC. Raise it. The reason why they're pushing for an independent audit. But the EC is not supposed to do this audit for you. I'm telling you, go and do it yourself. That's what they want. They want an independent auditor. Why? So that's why I keep asking you that KPMG, you think that KPMG can, or Deloitte, can actually tell anomaly in the EC register than you yourself? That KPMG can determine that I'm not supposed to vote in Latte, but I'm there. You are a political party. The EC has given you an opportunity to have agents. You have the album. You have party people in the communities. Give it to them. Identify it. When you identify, give it to the EC to fix. But you are saying that because you identified 2 issues or even 10,000 issues, all of a sudden we should do what to the album? We should have a new register? Is that what they are calling for? Because I want to understand, they did independent audit. What is it supposed to do? To clear the voters register of some of these anomalies they say. But these anomalies you can find at the exhibition. Present it and let's clear it. Are they saying that? Because the reason why we will not go. Okay, so as we wrap up the conversation, the reason why we will not go. I'm told I just have a few more minutes to wrap up this conversation. Yeah, please, my producer, I need your go ahead to call for that video. So please alert me when I have it. But then let's talk about Baumeia's campaign trail so far. Where are you right now? I've seen you've done a lot of groundwork, but you're not putting it out there. So what's happening? The flag bearer today is in cabinet. So he's in Accra. He was in Adan, Segi, and Pram yesterday. Tomorrow we'll enter the central region, and then we'll continue the tour from there. It's been an exciting period. We are going to beat the NDC, believe me. We'll beat the NDC. There are lots of polls, first from the presidency and also from a firm, SME. They predict that this election may travel into a runoff. You know, when we took off somewhere last year, all the polls said that Dr. Bawumia was behind. You remember? All the polls put John Mahama ahead. Then in February, after Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's speech, when the April polls came, he had closed the gap between John Mahama and Dr. Bawumia. Then in June, it brought Dr. Bawumia very close. In fact, so that Dr. Bawumia was more popular than John Mahama, except the parties. Then in September, I see a poll that says that, in fact, all the polls that have come this week basically say that they are neck to neck. But let me tell you one interesting thing that happened yesterday. When the SBM RDC is leading, and Joy, you misled them. When you didn't mislead them, but you led them on that path. Because you stated a fact. The fact is that NDC in the SBM report is winning in 11 regions. So when you put up that your flyer that says NDC wins 11 regions, then they started posting without reading the report. But the report clearly indicated that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has 49.26%. And the NDC John Mahama has 49.12%. So in actual
and that's the SMB report there. Key findings from that report. I know that we're running out of time, but I'd like my producer to buy me time because I want him to end his point.
Yes, let me end my point. So in actual sense, the SBM report puts Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ahead of John Mahama because the average of the percentage they have indicate that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has 49.26%. And John Mahama has 49.12. That is why today, if you go to Shamima Muslim's wall, she has deleted your flyer. Because she realized that, because in this country, why? The last election, we won only 7 regions. But we won the elections. The last elections, we won only 7 regions, but we won the elections. So you can win 13 regions and still lose the elections. You know why? Because Northeast, if you put all the Northeast region votes together, which you might have won that region, it's probably like some 3 regions in Ashanti region or 4 regions in Eastern region. So the fact that Joy News states a fact that NDC wins 11 regions doesn't mean we won. In the SBM report, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is leading John Mahama. But that's not even important to us. What is important to us is what are the issues that the SBM report is raising. As we speak, since last night, we've been reviewing all the polls that have come this month. And we've strategized. This morning, 8 a.m., we deployed. So next month, look out for another report. The good news is that we were trailing, we kept trailing, we kept improving, and today, neck to neck and ahead of John Mahama. That is why I keep telling you that we are going to beat the NDC with the strategy that they will never believe.
Okay, that's miracles, aboagye. If we leave you, he'll go on and on. We'll be back after this break to bring you that video.
In other professions, the NPP remains one of the strongest backers of media freedom. The AG other professions. The NPP remains one of the strongest backers of media freedom. No political party ever in the history of our governance process for greater freedom of the media. To the extent to say, the criminal libel law was under Nana Akufo-Addo.
It's not true.
The repeal of the criminal libel law.
I was a participant in that struggle. Be careful. We are appropriating everything. Why? You know it's not true.
Why am I repealing criminal libel law? The repeal of the criminal libel law.
The struggle for the repeal of the criminal libel law intensified when Cabral Biamia became president of the Ghana Journalists.
Under whose tenure was it repealed?
Oh, it was under tenure of President Kufuor.
And who was Attorney General?
Nana Akufo-Addo. But that is not the whole story. But that is not the whole story.
But that's why
it's not the whole story.
That's not the whole story.
Because part of the story. Because part of the story.
Because he was the AG who saw President Kufuor was the president.
And so it's Kufuor President Kufuor because I know the facts. President Kufuor and who's tenor. Africa Blast here. Under whose tenure the law was repealed. The first time the issue was raised, he said no. If journalists infringe the law, they must be punished. It was consistent pressure from organizers like Audrey Gajepo, Professor Kwame Kakari, Akoto Ampao, and so on, which forced him to change his mind. And
eventually, he did.
Yes, but then again,
oh God, my goodness,
the law was repealed by Parliament.
I'm talking about principles. Respectfully, Parliament didn't just get up and repeal the law.
I know that.
It was presented by the government.
Why are you giving it all to
why we say this?
Why are you giving all the credit to?
Why is it now 1 year for man?
But
Where's 1 year for man?
okay. I didn't say you said remember the papa akwa.
Say repeal of criminal libel law. Attorney General and the Akufo-Addo as AG.
Go play back your tape.
Okay,
yes, I know.
What did I say? Today
you've been very selective in the things you do.
You've
been very selective. From another position, no, we're turning off on the line. And I'm not happy about it. I'm protesting strongly because we have analysis. Not that I had nothing to say. You haven't twisted the fact. The fact was that when you in court, were you the one who defended the bill in Parliament? Were you in court? So when you say participate in the court, okay, in the court, what did you do to get the law repealed? In the court, what did you do?
Is it called that?
Listen, no, sorry. In Parliament, the court to home, and for the repeal of that law, what did you do in Parliament? What role did you play? Majority or minority?
Before we mandated government.
Kwame, I'm not enjoying this. I'm not enjoying this because I have a lot to speak about this because most of poison to the atmosphere. You see,
gentlemen,
and I need to make my point. Because your mom in time.
To be fair to Nyasame Okukai, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo was the Attorney General.
Yes.
When the criminal libel law was repealed.
There's no quarrel about
we leave it there.
There's no quarrel about that.
There's
no
it's when repeal
false government.
No. You see, under the let me make it easier. Under the NPP administration, our company that it's a about John Ajikunku Fortiso. The Attorney General, the lawyer, many for no tunafo. Nanado Danko Kufa, the Nobe Ghana Mampeni. One a time as AG, and he repeals our criminal libel law. Now, a do union be bracco to which is a fact, non-negotiable. Kwame, the other issue, and I'm because I'm said I'm about 3 professions. I said, hold on, be media. Say media, because you making sure say the law works. Me, I have lot of friends in the media, and I keep saying, say, me come election, Diana, I'm normally the creation of the media. Because we bet me out to Obama because oh, Chairman General say we yen to man. Oh, as soon as they say oh no can one semper. It is for some of us. And when I'm going for elections, I have friends in the media. Mkwa Jiji Susu Edbuami. And you know, you an example. Bulare is an example. As one of your partisan. In 2009, that's why I find Kwesi's position unprincipled and not fair. Sure. Choice FM closed down Saturday, 5th September 2009. And now let me quote a section in it. In view of FM studio, government has ordered Sunshine Radio Limited, operators of Choice FM, an Accra-based private radio station, to stop operating its FM radio station under a claim by the NCA that the company has not renewed its license. Now let me quote the letter. In a letter signed from the NCA and by Director of Regulatory and Administration, Joshua Pepra, on behalf of the Director General, and he stated, in the process of updating the records of all authorized and unauthorized operators and service providers in the country, we have noticed that the radio frequency authorization granted to Sunshine Radio to operate a commercial VHF FM radio station in Accra Metropolis dated 28 July 1995 has expired.
So,
why is it in what you have read?
So I feel I'm doing my analysis.
Do your analysis.
Did this thing ever come to your notice?
This is the only one. And
how did you fight? Where was it documented?
What?
Choice, make a choice of MD. You are a media practitioner. What position did you take when they took on you?
Because
I don't like this, your banter. You are able to cite issues of the past. You haven't been able to cite what you fought for.
Let me tell you.
Yes, but let me finish. You can get additional time to make that point.
Alaji from Vibe FM to Radio Gold as an act of solidarity.
What do you want? And Kwesi make another point. Some of the radio station, an example was that yes, you went to your music and a filling of the forms are no more filling. Now, if the filling of the form no more filling, for form no more. I'll go back to the story. We are aware that every year we have to renew our license, and we have done that. And choice for no. Now they are saying we have to fill some forms at the NCA before paying for the renewal. But it was the same NCA we paid the renewal fees to, and issues of forms did not come up. So it's still a choice for position. If it is the filling of the forms, it does not call for an order that we should stop operating. I am hearing very interesting things happening. Kwame, so this position, they advanced the same period at that time.
10 years ago.
10 years ago. If it is not on principal position, like at that time, you as media, a senior media practitioner, should have taken that position. I give you another example.
Charlie,
Because why do you have to come in at every time?
Because you are accusing me.
You made very serious allegations against the government. No. I owe it as a duty to my party and my government.
Listen,
we protested. That's what I'm saying.
So why are you now in government and doing?
You guys cannot take one person to I listened to the point being thrown into the I'm not being treated fairly. I have quoted.
I should be fair to you and allow you to continue. When the facts are
Space,
you go.
I'm going to allow him to speak.
What is all this?
I think you should allow him to speak.
Why not? Come in.
The position.
Then you may come in.
Yes.
Kwesi, don't shout at me.
I'm not shouting at you.
Calm down.
You two calm down.
Kwesi, calm down. Kwesi, calm down. Kwesi, calm down. Kwesi, calm down. Kwesi, calm down. Kwesi, calm down.
To the point.
Kwesi, calm down. Calm down.
Kwame, you got very, very angry when people make allegations against you. You got very angry in this very studio, didn't you? Now you have somebody who says me, I'm on principle.
The position.
I didn't say reaction. I just said calm down.
I'm not doing anything different from what you have been doing in this studio.
Okay, I hear you.
That's a fact.
Okay, I hear you.
Yes. So don't create the impression that I'm unruly and so on.
I didn't say you're unruly. All I said was, Kwesi, calm down.
Why didn't you calm down when you came to your time? When similar allegations were made against you, why didn't you calm down?
Like Rich.
Okay, Kwame. Now, what frustrations are?
The man says some principle. I'm saying, sir, he should go and ask. Nobody else. Go and ask Nana Akufo-Addo. When the Radio Eye case came up, we met.
Radio Eye. I haven't taken to Radio Eye.
I'm telling you,
an issue that happened.
I'm telling you,
not too long ago.
We met together and decided that you should go and represent Radio Eye.
That's what I'm talking about.
We met and decided that you should go and represent Radio Eye. Come and sit here and tell me something.
Me say the position Kwesi is advancing today, and yet the same principal position he should have or he did take 10 years ago.
It's wrong.
Okay.
You are wrong.
So we can disagree. We can disagree on it. Kwame, a station like Space FM, media reporter, also pro NPP station Space FM also closed down in Sudan. If you have a situation where many of my friends are in the media, but Kwame Bani say no. In an attempt, say trying to help the situation. It's not also paint the picture. So say, Obi license who are a normal so pretty. Other than doctor license who are so renew. Other than lawyer license or the practice who are also renew. Why? It is the same idea.
The constitution says that media houses should not operate on license. It's in the constitution.
Yeah, so
that's the issue.
Operate on license. That means that the media house should operate with a license. Yes, sir.
Who told you that?
No, that's what the constitution says. Media houses should not operate without license.
That no media house should be selected to a licensing regime. It's in the constitution. Open the constitution. Read chapter 12. Article 162. Go and read it.
But if a says I will allow they get the opportunity to air their views, and then they do the heckling as they bomb left, right, center. And it's not fair. Kwame, it's not fair. And I'm protesting. I'm protesting for the second time. Yes. And I'm saying, if in other areas you have a situation where Obilis is should be not there, it makes Mama example of two people. Me say under Dr. Puni. Why? Because onojidi say na health implications. Neba. Say if you call a doctor who na the lines or the operate you, not doctor no operate you are at your own risk. And I'm saying, yeah, no media house. Let's encourage them to come in. I will find it outrageous. Say, in previous. Create no food. The second put food on his table. Second, no man, no, I blunt. How how would you get food on your table? If that's the case, media houses, when they fall foul of the law, in our times here, they will asking the NCA, oh, if you will say, come on, more time near them. But don't get on the NCA, no more illegal. It's not illegal. All we want is at least a good faith. The honor who use you and a human face. Now, Mr. Miyamasa Catchers or mine, the NTA baby, and say, a grant to mine. Yet you police station, a coupon where we are, or where you could fear for no compatch on the idea was the issue of human face. You could say, I have a friend, a personal friend, my classmate from St. Augustine, who had more radio good. I said, well, I was very well, you know him. So, from I said, oh, when you are with the Maka Kubusa. Then subsequently, me said to Kubusa, I said, oh, now, NCA, but some knew what this whole thing was about. Then I was properly educated. And yes, you're in some because when you have convention clashing with the law will reign. Because and yes, be a BCA in the past. My mama was example of near two a pro-position station in 2009. And I also want examples of yes, even under this current shutdown, Space FM is supposed is a tag that's being pro-MPP. But that's not my point. Say yeah, bomb no mama your jumani ya ni akase unya o paper we ya na time because na unya ho advert edidigi. So the state can also benefit from. That is the kind of angle I want us to go. Now to the electronic communication tribunal the ruling came only giver NCA and giver. The ECT said in the first place NCA send for frequency and their mom license from the operator don't charge them penalty just draw what here. It was based on that in a court no share NCA a tribunal share NCA almost refund your mom about you second and let them put in fresh application. Because I say, why do you find somebody the arrangement with you now was my imposing fine? Or if you pan a idea or person or twice of the year 3 months before at the end of the day and a expire or apply for renewal. It's when they were any renewal and a fresh application. I didn't state that. And the 5 members of the tribunal, not even one was placed there by NPP. Go and check. All these 5, they've been there. And 5 members of the panel at the NPP inherited. You need one infis. Now, how can you also be on the issue of the XYZ? And I'm saying, a lot of my friends are in the media, and we are very careful. XYZ, because I'm casing Poka de Ebia, a hard social light kakra. Almost 2011, and they want a license to operate. 2016, anyway, and maybe elections and some year they buy into the oversight of them. But it cannot be said a major radio station so to say go. I'm coming. Say to Peace FM name say to Oman FM name. To me, I want us to be fair in the criticism. Yeah, boy, I'm so near many wasa, a be a back door, a moon penny for any be senior citizens, Eddie Omano, Eltum, now we can have a fresh start to this. That is the kind of argument I was expecting.
Menya party chairman bia okopiem wokoto omunze adante na ozuma janfi akire na ono ekwa proboko ka kire ne party executive say sasem na okan wokoto say waja adante na ofie no na strategy o use adante bia ni babia so hwe ya and this national executive election so TV menim sa manfo so eti wa fidikasi etiye say Mr. Chidun Katia Kaso, when you choose a strategy na emwa ntino oheda kan work to say be ya ombe free one time na pressure na dan so no so because tro no mudi abane de na do dan kwa akofo ado ye den ewe ni ye.
All right, but me kasi wenim direct say me pawasem but I give you how we are masema me pe onim wie. It's going to be a little bit too aggressive. So, brash and at times rash. For instance, all day, Ghana police. Kwame, says here, we know will be a dear far prime visual, ye peo, or one, ye befriend. Yentino say, Bibi Crana, ye na won't tear, media make catch was a ye yabutre.
Mamma Falconer way before Antana may you was a man, no mentia Santa Mamura. Was Memfa and Chiasum Pong, and my Santa Mamura and a pamphlet. na sentimental mu nipa nyina omutie Afrikasi kin Edward sentimental mu ade memfanse medie mu ano no na wonim say uyi medie mu afiri ho amre bia etwa mu no na ehye nam na mom papa ya na yedi na afofidai na din chichemu aba senka kwama nkromate ase na okọ police ya ebia ka rank e de ma na ye divisional commander
Saturday
because na nchichemu bia ni bono ne asantemu but one chichem say ye na mom that time no to achieve the political interest and you know the fact say ye chem no eno nkyere say e bono ne asante ya tamfo go ye nyina nim say enura ya o 1959 ni nyina ye nipa baako nti sa administrative creation na abano emma me hu Kennedy say o ye tamfo na meboa nti no uye no free wa ye wo director busia e wo link utrezia na ba bepi asante mantam but e basa eno nya news because emre bi atwam ne nyina ye de yatibom me say me trezia ba benya family ne bi wa uye no free wa ye san wo me angasa so ni se me yiri free kroma asante ni pa pio
ba we dey ne ho fede
nta me de manimo
da bi men kasa o
da bi
o kwame da bi men kasa
da bi me shia me bisa ma na mo fo
ba o mo say ya na ta sisa mpempi
very yes and the taxi be ma bia na nimo hu tanya
men kasa wani mo wu
me ana me ka ma
you o ye mo dey ne ho fe
asan fo ma ngasa ho fe so pese men kan za so
me men kasa kan dey bia o dey o pese o kan wo
na ma ka ma anti o ye no fru asedam kan se me wife ya santini pa pio enye nchanti
possibly wo ma be ya asantifo
o mo ya asantifo na me a utreji a ye wo family director ya
utrezi ko kopim krubezo
e wa fijas
o is
utreji a what ya say dino utreji a e had the difference bi anyere
but say President Nkrumah say oye to achieve or known goals it has turned out for the best or for the better for the country.
Yes, you know, Santo Kwasem na ene na mobia na embwa.
Ma Santo Kwasem no a creation of the media and I say a day.
Yeah, my baby ya no now ya mama for the legal history in this country. Now wasam na ubisa no. Me de mende police obabia. Na mum asem se de city bia no. So we are nan anopa reply national security. On social media ma yina na onte
the national security afrewa na
so. No issue statement be na fa banta bia meni Josia ansanya TC general secretary. And I insist that Yamaka biano. Mrs. Diazamia na mekana minyi ba kokora nyede emfirimu. Nti my reply mo. Mende security obabia. Namum ni esefata biano nso na ekwe ni esefata biano wa mfanto emwa mimi say no me president mapa but I believe in the Old Testament more say adia sunbie ba matena compound house wa yanyina o compound house wa enipa be 50 and the wom the time bi adia sunbie ba basa fie mo bia me hu ye no say obi ye wade aye no bi basa ma fie hodo because obi ye wade na aye no bia mo komanim no obi anim no obi akiri and this is lesson mena makama MPP ni bia entina ba bia mo bia hunahuna
na almost so nko hunahuna nkrofo
mena maka MPP ni enkofa ntutrasem ma na mo obi di ntutrasem ba try as much as possible to over resist it. O resist ya police for beti na mo transit na zo obi kun wie dia hu dia agro obi kun wa What trust no be una kum bia wa kum free wo di agoro enti me dem fi say men dey police and masema me kan ye no ene kan no am pipi ni bi o tie free ba bia no me dem me raging pa de so trust ne e bo na say office wanya time a wo be complain na kire na me sa bo heavy
now who dey say
oh oba me ho be me say oba me ho no ba be complain na kire ma say me abrante nti conference chama akokora te say asante raging ha chama luta ese ya bo me mrante no obebo mama ma yi mfia tuma le no ana dia maye nti no make sure say won crop won dey do mo kwa abato no obi aba prepare say ye nkoka obi na ma obi kan ya ye be kan bi ne nyina ye nko ba say dey atindue ba.
All right, I think a normal trendy DDK has got to do with this voter register audit request. Argentina easy any NDC but o party akwa press conference say you don't go with the flow. As I say easy for and a year adwuma na dey ka sabi easy o man kasa so PR outfit or enka ye mwasembe
Nidi kan kura no. Na no demonstration omo ye no. This morning we feed the case me yusu and they are call on NDC teaming supporters across the country. Say we move fast here and raising up. Because leadership no e fast here yusu omo afa say NDC supporters na dey. We mo ankasa ntimi nwene mo omo. Number 1 I say, Epufuwa, former President John Dramani Mahama, any NDC National Executive after 2020 elections, you know. Wamakaso Madin Kunu, naturally, Mwabakaso Mobua, Emma NDC supporters TC Krum, Sankomukwa no Mko Wuya, Sabe Koma Wua, Nyansa Yeden, Enim, a Wua won't heaven. Nano die yetia. Just Tuesday or Wednesday. Tuesday. Na NDC for TS in Montana. Afro mo supporters in Yina say. Kopim so mbenya a clear and clean voters register. Election 2024 no. Enye free and fair.
And it's a right say demanded.
Me da say. Right no wo. Na mom ye kwa abato. What call on a reason in answer as so who register now a year clean no register nye clean as they claim now omokwaya ballot and the chair will say we are NDC supported to start asking the leadership and former president
but problem Ben was say one raising questions about the credibility the genuineness of the register name yes
but see no we are century ni kese pa obi anim okroma besi na NDC atima ma kogen reason why omo demonstrate yana
almost say certain transfers emfa kwem almost say register na enye clear almost figures e wo hono to prove say baby oba Ubi or said we ukra ni di woman as ya transfer in here. That is what they are saying. And
but no transfer and one no. And yet NDC as a political party and they determine say me may transfer no be transfer. And then electoral commission na transfer.
Now when they transfer?
Near the guy transfer you working out it. Any amount for more hello from more mudi gano point. One more right. Say, Makwakwa Tinababi, less than 12 months to the general elections. And Mrano Maya Hong Kwan CI 127, Regulation 22, and the Kitami, transferred voters list. A registered voter who before an election is resident for not less than 12 months in a constituency other than that in which the registered voter is registered may apply to the returning officer of the constituency where the registered voter is resident for the name of the registered voter to be entered on the transfer voters list of a polling station in that constituency.
And what your regulations say?
Regulation 22 CI 127.
Well, my information be and so my information is that Lawyer Nanaji Befuwa, the parliamentary candidate for Malaysia South, and so no objective to NIPA 1,000 or feel say fraudulently almost transfer votes.
That is objective procedure.
Pursuant to EC regulation 23.2 and 23.2C and D, and assembly as a court right. If I call court Prempe Assembly Hall, as a landlords of over 1,000 registered voters, they came to testify. And when they came, they denied categorically, said those people live in the addresses provided by the
rules. So far, CI 127 year damanimia. Law no say less than 12 months, my boy. And I say, what to me, Chireba, be I will say what less than that 12 months. And you want to man, the same rules no provide, say, Obibetima objected to. And you know, and you be may not transfer any right. Now, my electoral commission, political parties in this no, and you say one be objected to that. Memory no far, and this is what reason is say. Obiti time. No monti asiese nipa na time. Wako nukrom jaman sa atumlemano akwako treni dini. They have an issues with that. Say me free mlemano na mom time na me di mi pa. Entino mayi mi vote ko mi kroma wa monti asie nti wa monfo soldiers no entinsi monte. Ye wan hye ye say wonti asie na to fit transfer na nipa na yem. Who challenge you? No, about to acquire no, so say young audit and pay CI 127. No way. And yes, transfer because on this one TSA. Yenya forensic and independent audit. And Ghana have pay our laws. The only body or agency a better my independent audit is the Auditor General. And you can read the functions of the Auditor General. And Minya, may Sana Cartel say the Fourth Republic Electoral Commission and your independent audit that.
But I don't just say it to me, Bida.
Oh, Minya, you sue a division process, and the end is in some painful here. Unina, Druba Binata, Okika Conantis, what do you say? Akras and him. That is a Tugubanum. Unina druba bia wadwene samba from ene akwa 1 month de be pay. And then there sa na nyame ye ntie binu masem no
MPP won't call it for audit of the register.
Amaso ntie ndisi kan ba bia say ye independent audit 2016 and 2015 omoboa
Amaso ask him.
Anyaduma independent audit bia amaso
but more requesting.
Oh, we request as a voter register no. Yan audit based on and names be a woman a foreigners name and your papa. And indeed, our request, so for fire mamma Charlotte to say, the response what the call committee I set it up. If I remove no one, your mamma Charlotte to say, our paragraph 28, 27 response or the call him, and they can tell me. A bright say, and Yama Bia Koso staff will be a electoral commission case, and Yama Basa Bia Koso electoral commission, and Sam Fatan. Yade Quayano, Mamma Charlotte say a year no. Paragraph 28 of unknown response. Roman number 7. Or say, the deputy chairperson operations has persistently instructed officials to carry out illegal vote transfers on the voter management system in clear breach of the law and operational policies of the commission. Such actions have major implications for the integrity of the work of the commission and constitute abuse of office.
Charlotte say Can we find on one deputy?
On one deputy who illegal transfers a brand no more office. Ama di chile yeah. Yadi kwa 2016 about wana. Kebe timidi oyene aba oman Ghana. Saloto se ne kana nyama na America. And some people requested audit to be 2015-2016. Near right.
But Amaso. But me can say obi the BB court, Emma.
And no yet. A brass Supreme Court, a order say.
Yes.
Pay Justice Crab Committee report. A nipa 156,000. Oh. And Crawford Binum so wa wo mudin sem fata. And no wo mudin national health control driver's license. A year registration ni birth certificate no. Electoral Commission make sure say. Wombe you omudina fe no yam friend independent audit. And this is what tiasia. Se kwato ma Electoral Commission no ye na dwuma no. Say ye Mababe can't be. Not say a second network. Sa recordings no. Yifru wo system one. Independent audit. Laki brofu no. Brofu na ye kano. Simple no. Laki understanding.
Oh na ote brofu.
Me but won't and drop for mona mote brofu. Se wo wadwuma wo ye no. A teach man say rectify your friend independent audit.
That will correct it.
Oh, quarantine no independent audit. And now independent on this for
but I didn't want some headache. Yes, sister, you can say yeah, party area got only problem. What is your problem?
You told my muhai. 1 year for ye about war witness be. Electoral reforms wa me ya drum pempenso a ya duru no. Emoma ne and this in a canvas. Masa adaka mo osum krom ha. Ye to aba na mamen ye wu mo organizer data na militia for and a protected militia for no mo na protected ballot box no adaka mo osum who voters ID card no e was only King Edward and to bedru hanom no obi ato aba no atake the amount say King Edward aba beto and so ma meto ye we didn't go without a picture. And former president, former first lady, who free with system to be yaba. Or say NDC and winning genuine election be our Ghana. I'm not making an accurate man Rollins. Asante Mamba no. Or say Ghana a Babian wa ya to no French man NDC be winning. And on why a first lady that on him how a system no ne kwaso that time say free a genuine election be no NDC a winning be that. MPP. Yen ye canvas say within a war voters register no kwa so na wo de kono ubeduru na obi ato ama no enye kwan papa yen ye hu dede na na do da kwa akofo do don ajekunkofo ampipifo mpanfo bebiri ene enya system a kire say afa de ye koyanim no o picture beba e wo odin so mo ma hu say wunie ampa una odin wo abon no aya people. The current system say
Chairman, more canvassing for so many reforms. Does that mean say BB Kosonenya Obi are all canvassing for reforms? Ain't me and canvassing.
Obi are all canvassing for reform. Request where and this request here no. You better use the laws na eka exhibition you know. I can want them. America exhibition process. CI 91 regulation 24 aka exhibition 17 na exhibition na say eduruwa obianko or say the exhibition officers are assist registered voters to find their names in the provisional voters register, verify whether details in the provisional voters register are the same as those on the identification card, and if there is discrepancy, make the necessary correction in the register. Ora, honestly, request here and this for cassette. there are some discrepancies if you register no. Provide how they should go about it.
It does.
It does. See, 91. Until I catch you say, sad demonstration on Mukoye. Hey, best rest. Woman, you know, what to see about thing. And as I said, when I was CI 91, 2016, and this is 4 pension. No more by mu, and as I'm away here, thereby. A parliament. Emma majority and this in MPP in United to say. See a 1 year might be a voter register nya. The best way I able to rectify no exhibition process with a parliament and this abamba benumina editu edianasa. Now, some position ya or more kind and mraya me ridiculous CCN. So what kind? Justice Crab Committee now, okay, 2015. Yet, yes, on the voter register no more. You would have said, Dunkatia. I appeared before Justice Crab Committee no. On 13th November 2015, page 18 of the report, page 20 of the report, and many are in your kind. Or say, on cleaning the voters register, the NDC representative said it can be done using
referring to.
I said, Dunkatia.
Okay.
The NDC representative, Mr. Dunkatia, said it can be done using the existing mechanism, the exhibition procedures, challenging and objecting to names of unqualified persons in the register. This, according to the party, should be the right approach. And in the Justice Crab report, I said, don't get you or appear before Justice Crab, page 20 of the report. Or see a person clearly register now. Said your car is a lawyer. But for we are challenging and run. And a woman ranum. And yet demonstration some police near to move. Name police nina ya born and none or one mobile. Many and over fear camel papa. Come on, papa. Say
police ni or the run the head.
Many and over fear come up bone heavy pa.
And the castle police need
come up bone heavy pa. Man castle yadi come up bone and catch us a corner quiet money. And so who near ye. Police ni ya bo abon. Akwana de mebusu ni na kama gwa no papa.
Na wo ho den sa.
Oh minia, obi a watena kurase bia de onim se matena kurase ache. Matena kurase ache migusu ti akurase. Na mo na mote kromo. Ati wotie asem na e wa ha na. Ye kreni register dunkatia o. Say ye kreni register na 2015 okwa committee na nim no. Osisi ye kreni register na enye tuo. Enya ba enya sekane na mo hu din bi wo register na ensem fata trekrata ko objective ye use exhibition process no mpacha afiwe electoral commission onye exhibition
baba me bra mo ho no e de be na wo fo say Bono region registration ko ho no after exhibition bibia e claim
me for instance uti
did you have any reason to raise
uti ukwa German no fo Krobi wo a utra sampa border na duty free border so ni German sa enough year utra ho no wura ma I think 10 minutes drive no wura agriculture sa kuro no mu omo kofa nipa 1400 NDC MP wo ho ode ba man kasa ni
any part 1,400 go fafi.
Okofa free sa kuro na American after duty free no. There's a next time. Me will be on my phone so I'm forwarding it to you.
But say ye de be na register. Either so be
that is why I'm saying because I know the procedure. Only near me here. When we register we ya men go for no frame me anam so problem ni ho. Omo register we ya and you put you in a challenge form. Said I say dunkatia. A 2 year for 2016 no. And to omo we ya na me ma me nkrofo no put you in the challenge form. Ye na mo call district review committee. So them say we challenge at the registration center. Ye benya a review committee. Review committee ni kwatena ase no. And also omo card no. Ye mfa ma and omo ba Sunyan High Court. Besi na ye ni asem no nwie nto omo nsa kan omo card. Ye wi exhibition ye wi. Anti no ano no. But ye asem na wi.
Ombeto aba because o card ni wa asala auto aba.
Oh, munia. I don't know. And the Kanataba. Oh, you not run to a Mokafa or Muno. Or you not at the statement about to Sunyan High Court to say, woman you're Ghana for. Woman you're Ghana for. Look at me forward. Court to Kratano BBI. And yet, no. I told you, Mamma Twama. See, you know what yes, I get. And yet, demonstration. Because I was in a meeting process. I said, look at your new December. I told her, for instance, demonstration no brand and Mama make you come inside Toronto.
Demonstration was very well attended.
How are you? Oh, Mr. Watson, demonstration. Me bass and Timantamu Tuesday. Now, friend, I've been saying she basses. Near man council, near Urase, Blue Region there was empty. Police for a moko, sad demonstration, a dog to check and crop for a moko, and this for a moko demonstration.
And you Kumasi had.
What I say?
And you Kumasi.
Oh, nothing they all passing all people. Oh, said the NDC for Sikaye, not some crop for a moko abandoning Amamu, Moba. What do I only pay 500,000 no Munyan? I don't bad demonstration, still a Ghananews.
Well, and easy no. It make us some more. The worry is more MPP. Why as a more and we are too concerned. Yeah. But all Mancasa are capable of talking for them.
Yeah, you know, but Bianca say an electoral commission for a normal Kwandewa. MPP we are always for Adjebia free and fair. And ya can say, send this forward dance your pa one. And the pan will be that this and some for almost Ghana for MPP for you must support me in a clean register at the Aquabato. Because after all, at the end of the day now, what Yasama Salato say, can't say, on only deputy, and she shares and this baby Abamu 2016. No, your illegal transfer. Upon all the dirty work your electoral commission, Charlotte say, Kanyaman American, MPP we won. And this word, dear Bia, who I depend to me fire new, which is a Samaya. What Mama Ghana for where, MPP, a support to, I'm here clean register. Ever seen that? Say a normal discrepancies here will register more. You bet my use at the BCA. You bet you should start processing. And woman seminar more canon. Kakeke. I'm paying for the
easy no respond of keke and your business.
I say electoral commission to about respond. What catch almost say? Ebe seen ne. We almost started 3 weeks ago. I can say register. Na ebe seen ne no. Woman ya been free or more. Apart from Nanwa, woman de a unique car transfer wants them. Transfer there to read the law, no multi process. Na so be a transfer net I want to electoral commission only 2 minutes. Eto bia ye transfer no obaso say o year free e dey wo a wo object to no wotimi ma ground for e ye project what now substantiate what sem na wo ka no wotimi prove what sem beyond reasonable doubt and say the electoral commission will say e kwana kene for so ye ni transfer no on semfa
chairman Kwame Bafo Abronye e say we dey wetimi attract no na bakuma sent na dey brofo na ba because you are not on time. Can they broke?
No, pay me about Santimantamu. My area Santini almost over to Bravo fight. No, mammy, teen, no, me idea. So well,
Chairman, Enra balloting basso. Over social media, mouthful are playing with figures 8, 3, 1, 3, 13, 3, say. Do you mind? Do you care about numbers and do they represent anything?
Omnia, nearly kind. To me, be a dear pa. A dear beer competition won't be an. Why near universe?
Adie be a competition.
Adie be a ye premier be ka say e competition at the end of the day you will be first.
Yeah, the Obinya do.
The Obenya do ye na ye one mo.
The Obenya do.
The Obenya do. And onya do a and on friend say o na di kan meboa.
Samu.
Na onya do a ye nkasa wo na wadi kan.
Samu na me busa questions.
Onya do a ye kan say wo na wadi kan.
Ane.
Enti me na madi kan ne say me kwa ne say the end of the day the wine e be ma me na mkita wine ne da die friend say.
Now what that one that na ye better no way ya do.
Yes at the end of the day wa benya one no na ye first. Ye kwa no mkita wine ne da da die friend say. Matwa fufuo ma na tonkwa.
Ti mo atwa fufuo ma na tonkwa.
Tio, and this the point say now mo trek social media. Manya dade akobinum pages.
Almost say President Mama has already done 4. He is coming to do additional 4, and that will make it
John 8:13.
Most also,
ready John 8:13.
And also, so Pharisee for the Casao. The Pharisee for the say they are.
The 80, such the 80 casem. Nobody 80 casem. Obi the 80 casem, I had 18 for 18 casem.
Nti mo so dey na mo dey cancel.
Ne dey cancel na wo John 8:13 ho.
E dey na ho.
Wo bia
me dey me ntimi bie. Wo ti me mama assignment wo akwa.
Agro ne adie na ye nuanom ma wo fam o mu tie o.
Wa me wo ti me mama assignment wo.
Asa mo se me kan me improve na me se prove wo ho. What you say? Father chief one na e kasa se wo ye trofo na wo be bragu. Wo be bragu ti bragu adwuma na omo ye. 2016 some to John 3:16 na na mewa ekosi say
na some so to be
2020 omo to number 2 ho asem e ka say the second coming of John ekosi say eno no omo national chairman ankasa na numto okwa abato no say ya azan ya nwini na na ehunahuna mpp for fi say ye beja ato me de ni eminim ni say
eti munyuma amoaye any campaign amoye and be mamo the results and now say ballot positioner moda and be mamo
Ghana ni bia okwa akoto aba no legacy the two political parties masa mi jira santimental ha mi ni bi na mum me the question we ma asanteman say yenya ye fourth republic political parties akese mienu and this MPP and this in di come back ani me pe ade ba ko a and this na ya eyen kai dun wo Ghana ha efie bia mu nipa anya so faso just one yenya ye fourth republic yo efie mako abiasa die na andis ne di kan be bu man ye back abi mami kan bi andis ne di kan be bu man me pe ade ba ko andis as a political party wo mo na aya efie bia wo Ghana ha anya so mfaso wo mo modi obi otie hello FM fa message ni mro say andis ne di ade we buy na every household in this country are benefiting from that. Bako, just one.
So what are you driving at? At the end of the episode.
But some catch say, yeah, to a bar. Yeah, to a bama papa. Or banet or qua. Or bet my way. And this, and fear yes, and your money away. Woman to me, a time beyond Baba Mom Becofi Biano. Woman, you wear at the Magana for. On my panic for, and the day can buy. MPP, your first administration, Ayako for Anamabwa, First Republic, Fourth Republic. All one, which I free Matanake, Abusiambia benefiting. All one, Ojaya feeding grant, Abusiambia benefiting. All one, Ojaya youth employment, Abusiambia benefiting. All one, Ojaya national health insurance. Abusiambia benefiting. Pacho, and this by 2009 to 2016 and 17. Adia na omo de ba ya abusuan bia benefit wo ka kire m.
Well, me na
kana me vampire nchira
o de vampire no. Na the woman say
kana me vampire.
Abi o vampire dem mpe because we are too aggressive.
Katoni na vampire ma.
E kwa me je bi e pon. The person busa am say President Kufu a wo kana nsem nyine. And now both parties we are right thing for. You believe in private sector development, the business. Say almost so. Private sector for business people, kasa. So businesses in under origin because of weak currency, because of can say exchange rate and other normal idea business. It's say more kind of say normal way in a possible.
But that's say what business are question way. Am people yen kan yen nyina ba bia anka say amamu na ye ba bibim ye bua chen say ne ye kwoso heaven yen nyina ba bia anka na nse uko UK for the first time ko UK one fire me power che what for me say free wura so am control wantie ati modern bi no but nyankopon kura ka say one yam
me no ma ba o sabe ka dem bro
what you say uko yen Krona o course no me the whole cast and match. Say, Emra Edikanya over 300 years in here. Emra Edika UK buying a Kombosiambo $285 billion a year 2022-2023. A DNTia. Only one reason.
What is the reason? What was it?
One reason. And they say I feel back a omototo shop mu afi baako a edumayefo tena fi aban twi omoka no aban na kwa ahokyere mu a over 300 years na omo hu bi da e wo UK abonten so me pache o number 2 nanu ada yewura bade e ka se onkwa ababiem na mo de advice e kono because honam aye mere sunsum honam sunsum pe na honam ye mere no Assembly no can won statement.
What can I say?
Or say America of America. Because of the COVID-19. Or see America bought eno a bin seeder. A black COVID-19 by best start here. Me na me wo ayi bedroom. Me free bedroom ya having 3 weeks. And a nipa close to 2,000 years. A different ye better for nipa 10,000. No money now. No mu kwasa. Hey. Just a me check chroma. Kakwe kame ye obituary. Kame
enke ye what to
mention them in where ni bosom masamba. Sami jina mo so ni. What you say?
Belgium, England, America economy. Okay.
Yeah. Upo mind Ghana. Afena ye peja meboa. Uhye eniema ekọ so a. Omampanyin na na do danko akofo ato gina ne nan so. Eku ye se. Mefo so ama oman na gina brane. Na ya firi mu a. Utim say ya boy homode. Udi ano to wa. Udi ano to wonu ma. Ya ka ne pefe.
Agora atare no hure now. Me. Atare no ka ba ya na. So atare no hure now.
Ka ne pefe. Say on my medical NDC. Womo ko IMF no. Omo sign just 2 reasons. And the damn letter of intent signed by Yura Setepe. And in Guasisema, and this could they pay 3 of the letter of intent or Monday call IMF. Pay 3 and the Kitami. Or Sinienti a Yabamo, Abajibo Sinya Yamfa Ghana, Mabuna Dumane say 1 electricity crisis. And no, I can tell you, say, and this in 2008 and 2012, no, a promise 5,000 megawatts of electricity power. Omantimanye. Woman 2015 Bosnia Bono, Almost nienti a year bam one say electricity crisis. One. This is the letter. I never am to say tap a letter in the damn. Number 2, the city depreciation. Number 3, Ebola epidemic. And you never make
CD depreciation.
Doomso.
Ebola. Okay.
Sanyama we are call IMF. A woman here and a pandemic. Very good.
But what has the kind of pandemic got to do with
pandemic? You know, what catch them say, any economy no any fear.
Men can't say we must see
okay, me no problem. Nedi kan. Say I'm running system now. Yam running system now. Yes, kasem enye papa. Ebe my economy na enye problem. And when say pandemic we buy. Yeni madwadi fo bebre omwom wase ya hasisi a cross we here no muntu kwan. Etinandisi force to tell us any effect on the economy. And former President Mahama on one kasani statement to deliver 2022 our University of New York. Or can a plane say COVID-19 no any devastating effect on the economy in Africa, but Africa, Ghana, count. Former President John Mahama, as an make a statement, our AU summit say, our Nigeria, 2021, or some can see should be said, no crepa say, COVID-19 at the African year because ye developing countries, but your Ghana count. So to me, Nigeria, and the University of New York, a common statement, actually painted the true picture of African economy. Not so we do that because of our papa. We say about me and another than Kwakofwadra. Just a cannot correct.
But businessmen concerns are making. Almost so Fanoma Beba. However, apart from dollar now, you see, I basano. Then Crawford post no more as always doing business is not attractive. More businesses and our businessmen are complaining more and amount for also I
can tell you say system now you run that is why and now me no can say say for a very long time digitalization is mra na say me call DVL so ye and I'm the compare.
What to come from?
David.
Okay.
What you will be?
You go in now. Okay.
And I'm the compose.
Okay. Now compare normal.
Me compare niama. And I'm kai maybe 2014, 2013, 2015 ko DVL aswe ya. Said the host ye took. Na ye boom crop for fast war. Ye extorting money every crop for her. None through digitalization. Uko DVL aswe ya. Pressure na wo DVL mre bi atwam eni hobie and sana maya atwa ewiase ho nyina hia na wo motimi di revenue no aye through the digitalization process na no na nkrofo bi nti how to run a good economy asene no no mo say Bomia is running away from economy so sia and then they also a digital man wo mo kekasa they are empty. Empty. Obi economists onim how to raise revenue. How much shall no market radio? So they said about me, so on your economists be or your computer mind. No more can say, we are here to about no malufu. Obi economists in it, dear. Onim how to raise revenue. Ututu kwai. Amaya kesia develop nyina no ekwana one wo mo fa so tu kro no ase through digitalization me bo akasembo man na asem ne wo mo central for na wo da katawani e
na me baka me
I say wo da bibie wani
ba cho sa do manim tie why pa me
wani me sign and about to this wani man
o ba about to be this year
me so be fa bibi me fi say no
Ha.
What does it? At your corner, you part to raise revenue. Na economy ni grow. A true digitalization. Amanya kesia. Woma develop ye sona ye do mu twampoana. Ehimfa and now be kwa ye guso and nam nkrofo store ejije to. Ka kire me. Se wo wu bi da. Wakwa America mo hu say Ghana Revenue Authority for nam store. I say for sika branya sa me de krado atum.
It will happen.
Ebi wo UK. Ebi wo Germany. Ebi wo Belgium. Ebi wo Canada. Ebi ni wo. Ni nyina ne sa. Your finance minister or your economy. Ukwa France ya, ebia president or economic background. Ukwa Canada, president or economic background. Ukwa Germany, ebia chancellor no economic background. But why are they using digitalization to raise revenue? And this answer and this is what I know my gare. Ati se bronsamunta de bia ni gwo moja wuom no. Ah mo radio so and abahomia move from an economist to computer mind. They are not making sense.
All right. Well, my time was so bad. I mean,
one radio station to another. I can't send Basabasan. I go for Cassam or Probia.
Aboagye. Ewo President Akufo-Addo 8 years. Mo opponent say enye ho adwuma.
Eno so bro omon santi ase o mabon. Omon santi ase o mabon. Sa ukwaje bosia ba be yeseke interchange. Ah? Ni se betua ka wie 2032 a. Ade etim bia no. Bosia no we are paying with interest. Nti say 2032 ene e betua sa bosia no be wie a. Now we are paying with interest here. At the end of the day, your public debt to be cost and nine cost. Many are maybe so. And also I'm born because how far your city rate, you know, and $1 to city rate, you know. Now send this your quack bosia. A baba cycle entertain. Now say bet you every year beyond a year. We pay some of the money with interest. And to what you your $1 to city rate in a quarter. Definitely, you convert it back your currency now. Uba won't just kind of so now, when yes, I know at ye. And to all put on my bony man. Annual public debt report for 2023 dear, for 2022 dear, for 2021 dear, for 2020 dear. The other one say a Bosia and this year from 2009 to 2016, a bit higher, but Piaka Baby, and Fia Diasachi.
And I'm also more dear.
What I say, it is Abosian in Yan, or Macata Bosia Yabwa. Sabosiana, Domama boy, Yenin, yet with the interest, and on a couple, a Baba Yasadian, a quadruple Baba Drusadian or Mokan, and to see at the Tia Primoa, Sanabaka, and Omoka Bosia Boss Wasema. Sikabia ye investment to say a free senior high no woman pensioner bi wo nti send this kasa ban we abobosia bebra ni omo ka kire Ghana fo eni say ye ba ye mpese o man ka be kwosuru ntinu ye betwa free senior high mu
obi anka sa
no mpese o mo ka no mo se bisa
obi anka
and oh masa
oh I did you ready because
we are ready and you be basa
because because of a reviewer you would never tell me say
hear me I language interpretation
and the own interpretation
it
is wrong
hear me obi say o man ni sika kwasoro dodo abanye o etiso enu nti asika na kwasoro ne se bibi bia ba be kan ho ebi ti say nursing training allowance aba be kan andi ti wo na ni wo ebi ti say free senior high andi ti wo na free senior high wo nti so aba be ka trem say public debt ne kwasoro ni o pese o kire en say ono no ba oba make it so obayi afuro na aba fam
obviously corruption too much. They will cut corruption. Government expenditure no
anti-corruption asema. Wamono. So party emu leadership eno omo mpanyimfo koko sasabro krosan aye omo corruption ho krosan sasabro dwiba aye omo to a NDC fo mpanyimfo womo kasa amamu so omo so yenya ye fourth republic mention one UP traditional na MPP ni ba krono na dina kwa fiase.
Well, coming.
Baba but 2008, they campaign on corruption. They to mention just one person name and this is about catch me. And now, yeah, beside watching, oh, yes, I'm a year to go.
And then what you say, Yana Madama one answer.
That be said, Luana, Eboa, no, your new sign, oh, Germany.
Ebobo me. Now, me, Pacho, me, a politician.
I would say corruption, Kosura. Jenya a fourth Republican. UP tradition in Babay and NDC. They campaign on corruption in 2008. Why not? 2012 they campaign on corruption.
What necessary?
What necessary? Special assistant to John Dramani Mahama, your friend Bafo Bonnie. Ovia Ghana Sika National Communication Authority Sika. What the 2 tables so say in Ghana for? Would you where do you ti wa do ne political ko no ofie no ne odi ya kai ame dam pass $700,000 no think kai ni no mo die ba fo bo no nya fiase.
Well Matthew, but
the deputy national security coordinator Matthew,
they were only 5 minutes. 5 minutes the person me dey busa say yes say no panic reaction na achimo. Baby, I'll be dubia, na mo tutu, ho na mo yese. Na mo tutu, akwan ne ade na mo de mozake ka me pi for 8 years. Mo anye sa no mari na.
Ora, omo na nkasa no, ye ba ban mu no. Akwan a ye ya ye no. Ye se ye nya akwan ti o. Eno ntina, and this for no. So omo se panic reaction there. Adentina omo run from debate. Me na me de me ho. Se NDC for ne Dom Dramani Mahama former president. So omo bu Ghana for dia. Na say no pressure omo bu man chen na do dan kwa akofo ne bo mi ade a omo man tu e ho ayiri do ma gina fa no omo gina fa bo mi ade na ni kan beko omo nipa no so omo mo wiase mpa ye nyina say did
almost go and you should go and debate market women omo na eye business. You should go and debate 7 parliamentarians. You should go and purge himself
2016 when na do dan kwa akofo do ka so onko aye no John Dramani Mahama can pepe sana na do front to omra debate.
It is a zero.
Ati omra on tun ko debate a market woman for na aka no. MPP aban. Ya na wo ba betu ye. Ana asara wa soma nkrofo bi o mata ade ani moja so mu ko radio so ko ka se ye nye hwe. Ana MPP aban ye nipa ye de ne kwa abato no. Meme nya hwe no. Begina timpie so na guma nim asenaka. Eba road network here. E wo Ghana ha. Yetimi di data na yere aba bontin say akwantimpon we na MPP yare yaye ofa road network nko a yaye bebre the fair tema interchange ni wono tamale interchange ni wono pokuasi interchange ni wono ongoing IPTC takrade interchange no eni wono Jacobi Chebilamte interchange nanu wo former deputy secretary koko gina ase o se awrade se ya na echichire wo man enti Jacobi Chebilamte sakra ye hu nkura bremu yi eno na akofo ado apagya ne sei ye da nyame ase video evidence eno ode bae wo dia no to wono man Bimbla to Salga road MPP aban yaye Gusegu to Nalergu road MPP aban yaye Nampanyili wulensi pandai kwan MPP yaye kwan Mahama di hu sika di hu bribe aye diase kan dodosuo peposu road oje hu bribe di yen MPP yaye man himfu video evidence wo ma boy abaso say ye ba ye na yaye wo dia no to wono ma pando nkonya right kwan MPP yaye krachi banda kwan MPP yaye Dambai town road MPP yaye Asante region ebra omudi gold ye Asante kwan nyina ma obuasi gold guye so amoti niatia angro gold Asante guye
so Asante roads mame ma me wo hona penny bi frame yes mo ye bypass bi okono na Ubedu kono wo kwanti ya the billboards asisi wo say no compensation, no construction, no compensation, no vote.
Nkrofo nsase abampe de ko lawyer wa ha.
Utimi aircon koyesa. Eti finally Kwame Bafo Abronye. You are accused of peddling falsehood. Set Mahabo, President Mahama. Sasem no. What's say?
Men coming you are.
Sadia no. Yes, say and yellow praise. The dear this year can say yellow. Even
today, I can provide you with the document. I want me come to see a Mr. Farmer. Media agreement and what the documents you have. I have a full bag of documents. I'm in them. Opa, and then you know, met my for a few rap for me, and swap van and you. Me materials you. Now, me the book out when you mean, anyway. Me documents, Opa, and see, never what a picture. Documents, a book, I bag, you can see it. Until we start part, Trobio, my dear. Make sure we have so to what at the traffic. Who documents in here?
All right, quiet.
And I don't demand Mahama. And then Yama boy, I didn't know what Temaport no. John Mahama and told Temaport. And Yamana Dampo. French Nibronia, your friend of Bessan Baronet. 35 years. Now, 35 years of back on you. Who say backward about your friend and say? Can I be 35 years count your besides the 1 year?
80 finally, number one, Namodano. What you say?
Oh, number one, dear, abandon dear number one, deal. Huh?
Come here, Bessia.
And this position, Ottoman number 7, I had the crop. Ottoman number 8, I had the crop. So, who to check your mamma, no one, 7 on 1. 3 on 1. 7 years. Oh, Miss O'Shea number 8, 1, 7 on 1, 3 on 1, the same thing.
But I'm
thinking, dear, you know, and you saw but and this dear, what to 3 I end this, what to 4 I end this, what to 5 I end this, what to 6 I end this, what to 8 I end this.
Kwame Bafo Abronye, NPP chairman Brown. It's been a pleasure having you this morning. Yami Aduma, you say she.
No, I never come in me nitro. But I am saying it on authority. Lawyer, I'm prepared. People, mama, sign. Some me that's all right. Not former President Mahama. It me share Ghana for you now. Set my port. Me baba ye president ya. Port na me kwa me ton ye dia ho tira ba. Me baba ye president ya. Me je port no biem. E dia magana fo a. E kina no pa obi on NDC platform. But unim ontimi nye because he took $150 million from his friend.
Kwame, I am unable to continue this conversation. Ma yeah, friends here. Na baby never says here next month.
Me dem team hani.
All right.
Summit me say, Kopinta do Mahama besu last one ye de me ko pension as a pensioner. Na me won obi a waye ayi teacher adwuma ko pension ni ye fa teacher fo a wasena ba so oba be pa adwuma.
Okay, Solomon Anane ye executive member NDC Ashanti. Lawyer Kwame Aduma
Udi ye chi asuo kam NDC akatama so okata ne maso CPP say ye ne nanan makukonyina manyokuo PNCC ye kube anye na magani amagashia ni hunu amagawo ho ti akukọ bodwumadie wo Hello FM so memenda no pa bia efi no nsia pa imukosi no nkro akukọ abon eye gigi Ghana manne Monum Ghana maima Yachasa monum this way this way asamuna yakai monum energy woman kasam monum ema pomode pa monum this way carbohydrate for this way mo protein iron wom ema pomode pa monum this way Ghana koko kaini yati yenti ene pa womu agwote womu ema pomode pa monum this way